Many Shades of Pink and Black Health. Many Shades of Pink and Black Health, where good health equals long life. Welcome to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health radio program on KBOKradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I am your host, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
What's your name?
Wendy. Sherelle.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Flalo.
And today our guest is Black San Diego. And Cherie, I got that right, Hopkins, Olivia Green, and Tanisha Smith. Our topic today is, how do we empower our Black community? So I want to first say welcome to the Many Shades of Pink, and we're so glad to have you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. I've been following you guys for quite some time, I think almost from the beginning of when you guys started. But I would like for you guys to tell us a little bit about yourselves and your background, and you can, whoever wants to go first.
We'll pick Miss Olivia.
Yeah. I think she just liked your name.
Well, I'm Olivia Green. I'm a native from San Diego. Born and raised here. I went off to college and at Long Beach State, and then moved to Atlanta. Was there for 8 years, and I just recently moved back. I've been back in San Diego for about 3 years. I'm currently a field consultant for a major corporation, and so I consult with franchisees. And I have a 14-year-old son who's 6 feet tall, so he keeps me quite busy.
Okay.
Good luck with shoes.
Yes.
Yes, also a native San Diegan. Met these two ladies running track in our younger days, MLK Blasters. I teach physical education at Horseman Middle School. I have a bunch of kids, a husband, and just living, ready to get this, keep promoting Black San Diego.
And you said a bunch of kids, huh?
A bunch of them.
Okay.
I got 5.
You got a basketball team, right?
Basketball
Okay.
team.
All right.
Yeah.
Co-ed team, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right, Miss Cherie.
Okay, so I wasn't born in San Diego, but I've been here most of my life, so I do consider San Diego home. I was born in the Bay Area. I have 3 daughters. Yes, all girls. We're a soccer family, so straight soccer mom without the minivan, of course. But I'm an accountant for a property management company, and I also am a real estate broker. I started my own company this year, so I've been pretty busy. And then with Black San Diego, I say I have 3 jobs, so Black San Diego keeps us busy.
Yeah, that's fabulous, fabulous.
That is.
So if that's the case, now that we know a little bit about each one of you guys, tell us a little bit about what Black San Diego is, and when did you guys first start that?
Okay, we started April of 2016, so a little over a year now. It kind of just started with a question. Tanisha just kind of posted a question on Facebook, like, where's all the Black businesses in San Diego? And then I know her and Olivia kind of talked. Olivia kind of has some ideas, and then I reached out to Tanisha, like, hey, call me, like, I have an idea. Our ideas were kind of similar, so we just kind of met up at Tanisha's house, a little round table discussion, and that's how we started. We started going from there. And we started with directory. Then we started with, I still have it on my fridge, but I think we started with like 20 businesses, and then now we're up to probably like 250 within a year.
Well, can you actually tell our audience what is Black San Diego?
Black San Diego is where you can come to support Black businesses. It's a place that you can ask questions of where a certain business is, and people will answer, and they will come forward and say, this is where you can get this, and usually always it's a Black-owned business. And it's inviting for everyone, not just Black people, but everybody that wants to spend their money within the Black business community. That's where that hub, that place where you can come and find information about black businesses.
So is that also a website or just on Facebook?
We're currently on Facebook. Our website is going to be launching next month. So we've moved. It's gotten big. We didn't think it was ever going to be as big as it is now. Now we have close to 5,000. We're at 4,500 members, and we just thought, hey, we don't know how long this is going to go or how many people are going to be our members. So we just started with that. So now we're getting a website.
So, what made you create the Black Business Directory? You know, what was the idea and thought behind that?
Well, Tanisha went to a conference for her school, and she's a teacher. And so she went to a conference, and I think someone asked her in Long Beach for the conference, well, is there any black businesses in San Diego? And she was like, she's only gonna think of 5 of them. So she called me and was like, how many businesses? Oh wait, she's like, first, are you gonna stay in San Diego? And I said yes. And she said, okay, then I'm gonna tell you what I want to study because I just came back from Atlanta. And I said, yeah, I'm here. She said, well, can you guarantee me 2 years? I said yes. So then then I started thinking about the businesses. She's like, let's just meet. So then she's like, hey, Sheree's coming over. She's on her way. And so we all grew up together here, and we've been knowing each other since we were like 8. And
Okay.
so, well, me and Tanisha longer since kindergarten, and then we met Sheree when we were 8. So track.
Okay, yeah.
So we just started compiling. Like
Yeah.
you said, we started with, about 5, and then people kept sending more. Like, hey, add me to your list. I'm like, okay, this list is a directory. So we just kept adding more and more businesses as they kept coming in.
So I think what's important about this is that, because I'm not born or raised here either, and it took me probably a year to find out where the black community was. Exactly. Okay, coming from LA, you know, every other car has a black person in it. It took me like months to even see someone that looked like me. So it's important for people that are just moving in here or still here for a while and don't have a clue about San Diego, where the whole hub of San Diego for us, black and brown people, where they exist. So this is a really important thing and necessary, because I don't know where all the black businesses are, and I've been here a while.
And I have too. When I first came, I did not know where. And I'm like, they don't have a black community. I don't know where the black people are at.
And a lot of it is because we are spread out.
We are spread out.
And San Diego is pretty large.
Right.
We don't have the biggest population of black people, but those that are here, we are spread out. It's not all concentrated in one area.
Right. And so I know everybody that comes, that visit me, well, where are your black people at? I mean, wow, you don't have no black people. I said, look, we have black people, okay?
Let a concert come.
I said, you just got to know where to go.
Right.
Yes.
We just don't have a black community, in which we do kind of have a black community, but, I think that when I say community, our black community are our black people. Coming in as a community.
Right.
Yes.
And not a neighborhood.
Right, not a neighborhood.
Like in LA, there's neighborhoods.
Neighborhoods,
Of course,
right.
there's Compton and Watts, but
Right.
there's Inglewood, there's Ladera Heights, there's Baldwin Hills, before some of them are starting to get gentrified. But,
Yes.
but out here, I couldn't find it. I know back in the day, it was like Emerald Hills
Yes,
or
right.
Oak
Skyline,
Park or
yeah.
Skyline. But, now that's getting
That's
a little
changed,
diverse
yeah.
too.
Right.
So,
Yes.
we can't call a
everything is
neighborhood.
changing. Right. You
Yeah.
can't say they're black. I mean, because when I first moved here, I moved into like Paradise Hills,
That was
And-
considered it at one point.
Mhm.
Yes.
and all the I didn't have not one black,
Yeah.
on the street, and I was just like, wow, I was just amazed.
It's a military city, so you
Yes.
have people from everywhere.
Right.
So it's real diverse.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of San Diego.
Yes. Yes.
It really is, and I think that's what I became to love about San Diego is that is the diversity, and that all walks of life, everybody, all different nationalities.
Yes.
And I know when I first came here, I had to learn the different nationalities because I never seen some of
Yes.
them,
Right.
So, I mean, it was probably weird to other people, and I never seen it. Where I come from Ohio, you're either black or you're white or you're mixed. So, you know, so I just think, you know, I'm like, well, I'm sorry, I don't know what that race is, you know. So I just think that, you know, it's important that we come together as a black community and we come up with different ways of working together, networking. So that is the beauty of what I see in you young ladies. You know, you're young and you have so many different ideas, and that's another question I have. How important is the black community is to you all?
It's like the most important thing. That's kind of why we started it, and I think in order to sustain it, we have to be able to spend money within the community.
Keep it going.
Yeah, to keep it going.
I think for me, it's more so like I have 3 daughters. My oldest daughter plays like on a really high level of soccer. Most times she's the only black one on her team. So the soccer it's 365 days a year. So that's our family.
Okay.
That's who we spend most of the time with. So she doesn't know how to be, I mean, I don't know if I'm saying this correctly, but she doesn't know how to be black because all the team, it's a privileged sport. So she's the white girl. Like she doesn't, she's at school, she's like, well, I don't really have a lot of black friends because they think I'm not black enough. And then, but I always tell her at the end of the day, you're still black.
Yes.
Like your friends, I love your friends, but you're still black. So remember that. So I think for me it's important because I do want her to see that we are more than just the basketball or the football. We do a lot of things. We have our own business. We're accountants, we're field consultants, we're teachers, and not just, we're just at the bottom of the barrel. And I feel
Right.
like that's what is important for me.
Okay, yeah.
And so, Olivia, do you have anything to say to that?
That's right along with that. I'm a
Yeah.
single mom of a young man, so I need to show him the importance of, you know, running your own business. Don't let a society keep you at a certain level. And so I'm trying to show him that anything's possible. And I'm here to support him and see all these other men that have their own businesses and women, and that the sky's the limit. So.
And he also probably will need, well, since you were born and raised here, hopefully he has some male role models within
Yes.
the family, because that's important as a single mom, making sure that he has that male figure there.
Oh yes, he's part of this program that I found through starting. Before we started, I was looking for mentors for him, and I was calling, posting on Facebook. Where are the male mentors?
Yeah.
What is going on? What are these programs? Happened that we have our Black San Diego. Someone posted they were looking at a mentorship called the Blue Heart Organization, and they have a male mentoring program. And I was posting, looking for a job for one of his alumni, kids that graduated from the program. And so I went looking, I'm like, oh, I need to find out what this program is about. And I called him up, I'm like, my son needs to join today.
Yeah.
And it has been the best program. Tracy Morris
Yes.
is amazing. I mean, they are so busy. And my son's excited. He went surfing, and I keep him pretty busy, but this just added it to it. And then to see young boys, because I have him in a program with the YMCA, with a Mock United Nations. He's a junior ambassador, and so he travels. He doesn't really see him.
Right.
Okay.
And so going to this mentoring program, these boys are doing amazing things,
Yes.
and they're all going to college. He had 100% graduation rate with his graduating class last year, and they have a partnership with San Marcos State, and so he's just thinking of like, what's the next step for him?
And that's great. And that group, they perform in places, they perform
Step
at the
team,
street fairs
yes.
and things like that.
Yeah.
Mandatory workshops, career. They already have resumes. He already had one, but they do resumes. They're already applying for colleges. He has a lot of other partnerships with USSD. So it's an amazing program, and I would have never found it had we not started this group. It would have took a little bit longer.
And that's the thing about it is there's so many wonderful things going on in the community, but you don't know about them. And
Yes.
there needs to be a hub
Yes.
where, you know, people can actually go and know to go there. So now that we have to spread the word that Black San Diego's there, so that's the place to go and look for what
Yes,
you need.
exactly.
And I think with that comment, we're going to take a small break, so just give me a second. You are listening to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health Radio program on KBLKradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. Our guests today are Black San Diego with Cherie Hopkins, Olivia Green, and Tanisha Smith.
I'm your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Flalo, and we'll be right back after this break. Welcome back to the Many Shades of Pink and Black Health Radio program on KBLKradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink.
I am your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Flalo. And today our guests are Black San Diego, Cherie Hopkins, Olivia Green, and Tanisha Smith. And our topic is, how do we empower our Black community? So I think before the break we were speaking about just, in general, how you got together, how Black San Diego was formulated, and now you're going to tell us a little bit more, some meat and potatoes about the actual project.
Right, the core of it.
Talk about that.
So what our plans are, where we see ourselves in the next 5 years is building a hub. So we want a center. The businesses that we deal with, the 250, there's no place for them. There's no center for us, like we were talking about community.
Right.
Since we're all spread out, a lot of the businesses on our directory are they work at, they're at home businesses. And so there's nowhere for us to meet. There's no shopping center anymore. There's no grocery stores. And so what we're working on is creating where we want to start our own grocery store, a garden, to grow fresh vegetables, and a business center, a workplace. So there's like a place downtown, throughout San Diego, they're new now, kind of hot new thing, is having a work and a place where you can rent out the space. We want that, because that's what, if you're working in your home office, your home-based business, you need a place where you can go to provide services for you, like a FedEx and a printer, copier. You can hold conferences, and so we want to have that kind of hub.
That's fabulous.
That's a awesome, that is so awesome, because we need that in the Black community. I know for myself, I work a lot from home, and sometimes I get tired of working from home.
Yes.
I do want to go out and mingle with the other
Yes.
people. So I totally understand that. In fact, I was looking at that new building downtown where it's beautiful, where you can rent that office space
Yes.
at, and I think it goes by the hours that
Yes,
you
that
be
you
there,
want.
right?
Right.
So that would be awesome. And I'm also interested in the garden, growing my own vegetables, and because we don't know what we're buying at the
No.
at the stores. We really don't, because they say it's organic, but it's not.
I know there are a few community gardens around.
I don't remember the name, but I know somebody from Skyline Rec was starting a gardening club or something. She was doing it once a week. I think she's still doing it. So once a week, you just kind of go there and she'll teach you a new topic like each week about gardening.
I believe it's Mount Hope.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yes, no.
Garden, and I know they also have reading. Well, over the summer they had reading every Thursdays at the garden. So there are some gardens around the city as well.
Yeah, I'm interested in that, because I really have to watch what I eat, my diet, and everything like that.
Absolutely.
But we also, not only that, but we have to start taking care of our
Yes.
own. We have to basically know how to feed our own community instead of depending on other
Depending,
people.
yes.
Right.
So this is one of the, that's where you start. That is a start. So I'm like really proud of you ladies for even having that, on your radar. So
Well, and that comes from looking at the directory too. You see what we have a lot of, and then we're missing some things as well, like gas station,
Bank.
credit unions or banks.
right.
And then a grocery store. So we have a lot of barbershops, I have a lot of hair salons, a lot of food places, nail shops. But then we're missing some essential things in the community.
I think we just want to get to a point where we're self-sufficient. Like we can just it's like the yellow pages. We want to be able to open the directory and
Right.
say, hey, I need somebody like a new fence. Like call this person up, or I need my house clean. Call this person. I need a landscaper. Call this person. So that way it's just like it's self-contained and just like circulating the money with us instead of going outside of the community and supporting somebody else.
Right, we need our black dollars to stay in the community.
More than 6 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Way longer.
So, what are some of you guys' barriers that you have encountered since you have started Black San Diego?
The stereotypes.
Okay.
So you get it. Sometimes people don't want to do business with us. Not necessarily us per se, but other black businesses. Because there's a stereotype. Either we're late, this is not really unprofessional, and then they're like, oh, well, I don't go to them because, you know, I don't really do business with black people. Or, you know, how it is. This is a stereotype that they have. And then we're trying to change that. Like, if there's a problem and if maybe Shree had it, as an example, she was working with someone to do our shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I asked him to do, I was going on vacation, and I was like, can you, I wanted like a certain sweatshirt or something, and he wasn't responsive, he wasn't getting back to me, and then he did something totally like what I didn't want, but he wanted his money. So I met him and I gave him the money, but I was like, hey, you know, I was like, kind of blew to the side. I told him like, this wasn't cool how you did this. And I said, and most people were telling me like, oh, I got an Asian homeboy that can do it, or I got a Mexican homeboy that can do it. And I was like, but I wouldn't be Black San Diego if I did that.
Right.
So I told him like, hey, these are the things you did wrong. And at first it was kind of like standoffish, like who are you? But then he emailed me later on that night and said, you know, I appreciate you for telling me that and for sticking with me. I'm gonna get my stuff together and do it. And he made our everything for us.
So he's been
helping us. Yeah, he's been.
So you just had to pull his coattail, let him know, and now he's been on point.
He's been on it, and we send him business all the time, and that's why he's been kind of helping us with a lot of, you know, he's been helping us like, hey, I won't even charge you guys because you guys have given me so much business. And I think that if we take that approach all the time, instead of just counting us out, just go to them like, hey, I didn't like when you did this. And we can be professional. We don't have to have an attitude.
That's right.
And we go and talk to them. And I think at first maybe they might be like, whatever. But I think that it has to go both ways. Maybe they'll be receptive at the end. But we have to tell them. Because if we don't tell them, they don't know.
Not letting one bad experience just spoil it. Like, like, okay, I didn't have a good experience here. I'm not going to patronize this business anymore because I had one business. Like you said, follow up. Let him know what was wrong and what we can do to better ourselves, because we helping him and now he's helping us. So, and that's how it can go if we continue.
And I think that's part of the problem with the community is when you do have a bad experience, and sometimes it's more than once, with different people, that unfortunately as a people we tend to badmouth them. So instead of, you know, if you personally don't want to go back to them, you don't have to slander them and tell everyone in the world don't go to so-and-so X, because then you've just sabotage their whole, you know, their
Somebody
whole business.
else might have
That
a
was
good
their one
experience.
experience. That was your one experience, and I
Exactly.
could have had a better experience there.
Exactly.
So it's just we're trying to change mindsets.
Right.
And so that, and then the other barrier I think we get is the businesses are not where they need to be. They're not up to par. So they're not running. People want to start a business but don't know what it entails. So it's more than just, hey, I'm going to start my t-shirt business today and I got the printing press and that here I'm going. Where's your business plan? Is your website updated?
Where's your business license?
Where's your business license? Do you know you have to pay taxes? Don't wait till the last
Are
minute.
your books up to par?
Yes.
It's just all of that. I think a lot of times if we can provide a good product or service, but we don't know the business aspect of it.
Right.
So I think just getting them the proper insurance, making sure they're incorporated, making sure that they're a legit business instead of just, this is what I have and then like that's it. And I think I had one person tell me like, well, I think I'm making money because I have money, but you don't know because you could have spent $500 last week, but you only made $200 this week.
Right.
So you're really not making any money.
Right.
But I think that just kind of goes that we didn't grow with business sense.
Right.
So it's not offered in school, so we don't have it. We just know that we know how to do this well, but we don't know the background of it.
Right.
So I think that's kind of like where we're trying to get to as well, is holding seminars to teach them about business. We all kind of sit here and have something that can help them. You know, like she does business consulting. I do the accounting part, so it's kind of like, hey, I can help you with your books to make sure you're on task because you don't want to mess with IRS at all.
Right.
So we want to make sure that they're doing it the right way.
So are you guys actually already formulated and have classes that are available, or is that something that's down the line, like a 6-month goal?
It's a 6-month goal.
Like I
Okay.
said, it's 6 months ago.
Yes.
Well, I think that you guys need to definitely pursue it because I think how we empower our community is we have to educate them.
Yes.
We can't, although it's frustrating, dealing with, our community sometimes, but sometimes we have to hold their hand and we have to walk them through
Yes.
the necessary steps. And I always say that even though you can have a bad experience, and including me, I'm guilty of it. When I have a bad experience, like, no, I'm not dealing with them no more. I prefer not to deal with them. I'm guilty of it. I really am. And then something started tugging at my heart. Like, let me call them back and tell them
Yes.
why I'm upset and what they could do better. But I think the goal and the key here is basically being professional, being respectful to everyone, treating everyone the way you want them to treat you. And I think that attitude in the black community is when you sometimes you may want to bring something up to someone, but you don't know how they're going to react.
Yes.
So I do take strive in how I approach, but then sometimes I can approach them right, I still get a backlash.
That's just again that level of professionalism.
Exactly.
So did you have any other ideas or comments on the barriers that, because I know Miss Olivia mentioned a couple of them, have you run across other barriers?
Just, I don't know, at the beginning, just because our name was Black San Diego, certain people didn't want to help, just because our name was Black San Diego. So Olivia had to go around like trying to find people that would print a banner that said Black San Diego.
Wow.
Just black is powerful and at times intimidates people. And I don't know what they think was going to come out of it, but we ended up getting it printed by someone who was black. And so it kind of started from there. Like, okay, see, we tried to go here and get something that said Black San Diego, and it didn't work. So we found someone in our community who would print it.
So do you think that they thought that maybe it was like
Black movement?
a black movement, or
Anytime you see anything black, it's like what they.
But we've already had problems with just the name. So on top of having the banner, people have asked us why we chose Black San Diego, and were we able to change it, or they felt kind of offended that we had a name called Black
Because they feel
San
like
Diego.
it's inclusive. Like we're excluding people. So they kind of feel like, well, it says Black San Diego, that means you're not including us. And it's like, we're not saying you're excluded. We're saying that let us get us together. You're more than welcome to bring your money in here and spend money, but we're trying to support us.
We had a cookout. What is it? Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Labor Day, and I hope she hears. But her husband did not come to the cookout because he was like, I'm not black, and it's not.
Wow.
I mean, it's deep, but it's not that deep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like
we're not like,
you come to
what
my
you here
house,
for?
you come to the
Yeah.
cookout.
My
It's just that's the
son brought
name.
his friend who's white, and my friend asked, "Are you sure it's They were riding around, driving around. He was like, he had the best time. He went to his mom like, we always coming to my house.
And I mean, even once you're around a bunch of black people, you see that we are some of the most like welcoming.
Yeah, we welcome.
set
You
of
know,
people,
Are you
know?
hungry?
Exactly.
Some oil.
Take the food home.
We welcome everybody,
Yes.
and the thing that I think our power, we lose our power because we're actually spending our dollars outside of the
Everywhere
community.
else.
And what's wrong with trying to keep our black dollars in our community and to make our community strong? But
Absolutely
I guess that's
nothing.
something wrong with that.
It's not, though.
And I totally agree. We need to, as they say, black folk don't want to spend, they spending everywhere else, making everybody else, they're putting that money into everybody else's pocket,
Right.
making them rich, and a lot of times, we do have the stereotype that we're spending our money on unnecessary things. Since we talked about this, how they'll go and spend all their money on the hair and everything else except what they need to, but they, what you spend on that hair, you know, you can
Invest.
invest it.
Help
You
them
know,
open the business.
Yeah.
They could pay themselves
Yeah.
to save.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then be able to do something. But the money seems to burn a hole in their hand. You know,
Right.
like as soon as they earn it, they have to spend it.
That's-
And that's a mentality thing that we have to break. And it would be nice if they could start teaching finance
That's just, yeah.
early,
Yes.
like in the middle school or even before
Yeah.
that, you know.
That's what-
Yeah, that's what I've been trying
Yeah.
to work on.
Good.
My daughter's 15 and she has it like on point. Like
Mhm.
she's on it. I gave her. She's had a debit card. She had her own bank account since she was little. And even for school shopping, I was like, "Okay, here I got her 2 credit cards for her birthday, and she's in charge of like $13,000." And she's like freaking out, "Mom, like this is too much responsibility." And she's sitting there like, "I want to buy this shirt, but if I buy it, then it's going to cost me an extra." On the interest, and she had a full-on panic, and I'm like, "Girl, it's just a shirt." But it lets me know that what I'm doing is working, and so then I want to extend it out to other people, so that way they know, like, you don't have to do this. You know, she told me, like, she brought all her school clothes, and she even paid for her to get done for school, so mom didn't have to do anything. You know.
Well, see, that's awesome.
And that's a
Well,
sense of
that
responsibility.
is. But and speaking of that, we actually gave my daughter her own account when she was 8,
Mhm.
and she, you know, we put a certain amount in there, and from her being able to manage her own money today, that has, I mean, she is always been self-sufficient, went through college, you know, she is very, very good with money, and I think that we should start them at a young age. I did the same thing with my son, you know, by putting the money into his account, and you know, let me tell you, he balancing that account.
And if your own is different.
Right, yes. He balancing that account, and then I'm like, I'm noticing like, okay, oh, so you know, you keeping track of that, you know, that money in your account, but you asking me for X, Y, and Z, but you saving this over here.
That
I mean,
video game, not that.
right, you know, so it is important because how we groom them when they're young, it will make a difference when they're older. And I can attest to my daughter. Like I said, she is awesome.
That's I like hanging with these ladies. I have a 4-month-old, and they got my daughter. She got my daughter stock in Disney. That was her present for baby shower. So it was like, you start hanging with people that.
She'll have her college fund.
Yeah.
And that makes more sense. I mean, you know, you give them some clothes at 6 months and they grow out of it 2 months
Yeah,
later, and then
right.
what? You know, that
Like,
investment was
all the
was
newborn
gone.
stuff was worn once, and getting donated to the Harvey, the people from the hurricane. So I mean,
Yeah.
grow out of it like that. So
That's fabulous. And also it teaches them a sense of responsibility, not only for saving, but to save up for something. And then when they do purchase it with their own money, they value it more than something that's just given to them. I mean, you just think about these young kids that get cars for their birthday, 16th birthday, and they wreck it 2 months later, and they don't take care of it. But if they were to buy something themselves out of their own account, and they'd have to repair it or replace it, they think twice about
Yes.
that. So it is teaching them a good sense of responsibility.
Yeah, I'm proud of you guys.
Yeah, so that's something else you're working on. Everybody's got some little niches here.
Right, they do.
So I want to hear a little bit more about this this grocery store venture that you guys are thinking about, because it's so needed in the community. And you know, I know you can't give a whole lot of information and details, but because we're here trying to promote health,
Right.
you know, we're so interested in terms of the healthy foods, because every other corner has either a liquor store or a convenience store, and it doesn't have the fresh fruits and veggies. And I really want to know that something's coming our way for the community, so they can actually start, you know, eating healthier.
Yeah. So right now we're in the process of looking for a location.
Okay.
So our real estate broker right there.
Keep it in
so
the
we're-
house here.
Yes. So that's what we're looking for. It's going to start our center, our hub. So once that and building, we want the space. We're not trying to rent it. We're trying to own it.
Mhm.
That's
So
right.
we have to set that standard. Why stop leasing stuff when you can own it? You're paying on that mortgage, that lease, and you can put the money towards owning your own property. And that's what's happening to us. We have no ownership in this community. And and then we end up losing it. And then what do we have? Nothing.
Nothing.
And hopefully get some investors and people who are interested in the same things that we are, who can help bring this all to fruition.
So are you guys, the three of you guys in a partnership, and is this
Yes.
one arm a nonprofit and a profit, or explain that a little bit, because I'm not a business owner yet, but I would love to be one.
Isn't it a nonprofit?
No,
We're
it's
not.
not.
It's for profit.
It's for profit.
Okay.
We thought about going, basically, we're doing the for profit, but also having a nonprofit so that way they're running together. Because
Okay.
if we have a nonprofit, it will give us resources to have more grants and
That's
more.
right. Yes.
But also on the flip side, because we have so many ideas that we need to run it, we can run some ideas through the nonprofit and then other ideas through the profit.
That's very smart.
And that's the reason why I asked that, because
Mhm.
there, there's limitations to
Right.
one.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
right.
and that's important. We're trying to get our 501c3.
Yeah.
For our nonprofit, for our community. thing, so, yeah.
And I actually been an entrepreneur for so long. I've been in real estate, and this is what I done. I mean, I don't even know how to be an entrepreneur. So it's been in my genes for so long, and I knew early on that I could not actually commit myself to a business. I knew early on. I didn't like nobody telling me what to do. I'm hard-headed, okay? I don't want to listen to you. I don't want to, I want to do it my way, And so that I knew that early on, and my dad just, I love the health field. I love medicine. I love seeing how, someone can come in, near death, and then all the new therapies, and you look and you're like, wow, how it's almost like a rebirth. And so that's what drew me to the medicine aspect of it. But I'm just like, he was like, you need to come over here, because this is where you're going to make your money. And I'm just like, you know what, I'm not really into that right now. I need to stay over here.
Your dad wants you to be an entrepreneur and join the business.
Yes, he pushed me until finally I just basically got my real estate license just because of him. So he could get off my back. But he was actually prepping me for something that bigger, and I've created all kinds of little businesses, online boutiques, had a jewelry line, all kinds of stuff. And so I look at myself as a jack of all trades, but again, everyone needs to know there's something in them that's special, because that's what God has planted, something in us that's special, instead of always thinking that they have to work a 9 to 5, but it's okay to work a 9 to 5, but also you can also go venture out and do your own little thing on the side, and that's what our community really need, and they really need that reinforcement, basically, that they can do it, because they don't think that they can.
Let that 9 to 5 support that passion.
Exactly.
And then until that passion becomes that full time for you, that's what we're doing. We all work, we have jobs, but this is our passion, so it becomes what supports us.
Yeah. They took a lot of the technical stuff out of school, so it's pushing college, and you could be. I mean, it can be side by side. You can be like we had a lady post about she wanted to start sewing, So even if they get that side of something, and now when you go to college, now you can start your business for sewing.
Right.
So keep some of those things in mind, not just think that you have to go to college in order to work for somebody else. You can go to college to be starting your own business.
Exactly.
And whatever it was you learned earlier.
I think we had a roundtable discussion event, and Sasha had brought up a good point. She said,
Yes. We love Sasha.
Yeah. She said, a lot of times we push our kids go to college, but we never push our kids to be entrepreneurs.
That's true.
And it's like, I think if we just foster their ideas and ask them what it is that you like to do, what are you good at, and then not only that, we see a lot of people saying, I can't find a job. Okay, well, what are you good at?
Right.
you can turn that
Creative.
hobby into a job and make
Right.
money off of it. And I think it's fear that's holding them back. And I think I don't know if it was Sasha who said it, but somebody at the event said that the graveyard is the richest place.
Yes.
And we were kind of like, what?
What? Yeah. No.
And it was
Yes.
saying a lot of ideas die with
They-
people all because they were too scared just to say, this is what I want to do.
Are we stuck into that old mindset, like, don't quit your job, work 20 years? I've just transitioned to a new career. My grandmother was like, just, stay at your job, But she was like, but I support you. And then when I quit, she was like, what? And then I went to do something else, and, now I'm consulting. And then, I spent a lot of money on these degrees, but I also have a passion.
Yes.
So I need to make it work for me.
Right.
And pay these student loans off. So. I need to see a return on my investment. So,
Right.
But and just giving them that freedom. We can't keep them in a box, and that's how these Steve Jobs, all these other they didn't finish college. They dropped out or went, and then why can't we do the same thing? And we don't have to be athletes as well. We can be other things. You can have your own engineering firm and or own your own multiple you can franchise.
Exactly.
Get you some 7-Elevens and Jack in the Box, and you can do those things.
And
Yeah.
make your money work.
Yeah, I have a question. So you guys have a location now where the businesses, are all signed up and everyone can kind of go there. But I'm curious because of events. So we don't really have a place to know when events happen in the community. So is that something you also focus on, where you have a
Yes.
calendar where we can actually go and say, okay, I want to go to jazz. What's going on this weekend in the community? So
Sunday
tell us a
night.
little bit about the
Yeah,
calendar
do you
piece
have-
and
yeah.
events.
That will
Yeah.
be on the website, and it's very important because a lot of times we are all like the black events are on the same Saturday.
Yes.
So you're trying to figure out like
Oh
there's
my
4
God.
things to do. Like on day one, and
Right.
if we had 1 or 2,
Two.
then everybody could go and support that event. So that is something we're working on to put into the website. There's a calendar that's attached.
We keep track of it on our Facebook because we try to go to at least one event per person. So we keep ourselves busy. So each weekend we're somewhere. You might see us. If anybody ever wants it, you'll see us somewhere. We try to support them.
You do. I mean, you guys came to my very first event. You spoke.
Oh, the one at the Alpha?
The
The
Alpha
Alpha
Center.
Center, they sure did. They came.
Okay.
And I actually contacted. I don't even know how we met. See, that's how cloudy my brain is.
I think I met you at an event, and then you kind of reached out to us. No, Dwayne kind of hooked us together because you called me one day. That's how it was.
yes.
And you're like, I have this event. Dwayne told me about you guys, and I was like, sure, we'll come. So me and Olivia, we
Oh
did
yeah,
come.
you sure did.
And then I came to your office, but I think it was through my job, and I came by to pick up some supplies,
I donated some
You donated
stuff.
some stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, for you guys'
So-
event.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
So, but the calendar, it's gonna happen, but we keep up with it and we post. Sometimes we black out our Facebook page. We'll stop running things just so we can help an event get the numbers
Just
that
keep
they need
posting
to
that
keep
event.
posting it. Because we're keeping track of those things and what's going on. But if you want some jazz on Sunday night at the Mediterranean supper, I think it's Jazz Club in Kearney Mesa, that's where the jazz is at.
And then Beret
So,
too, they have jazz
Beret. On Saturday night?
Friday and Saturday.
Maybe.
Something like that, right?
Yeah,
Southern
because
Beach.
I mean, we were just at a festival, and there were like 3 and 4 of them running, competing with each other, and we only have just a set number of us, so we can't, we want everybody's event to be successful.
Right.
So, I just think that if you guys create that aspect as well, where we can just go to a site and, we could say, look and see what
Yeah.
the, events are, so that way we don't just compete, and I know that with our health events, our whole health events, I mean, not even our whole health events, we just want people to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
We buzz our butts offering free services, but we don't have a lot of support.
Then once it's over, people are like, I didn't know
I know,
about
I
that.
didn't know
Yeah.
about
Yeah, tell me when the next one is.
Yeah, exactly.
Or there's nothing
Right.
going on in San Diego. There's nothing to do out here.
Right.
Go to LA. Or when I was in Atlanta, it was no. I'm busy, so I know we cannot keep up with all the events. Sorry. Sometimes we're like, okay, who's gonna go to what? Okay, you got this weekend.
Well,
Okay.
With all of that busyness, how are you guys able to still pour into, because you mentioned your children,
Mm-hmm.
but being good moms and partners and things like that, you know?
Intel.
yeah.
We bring them everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we have
Right.
events, I mean, my daughter always, she works the door for us,
Okay.
She's our photographer and our door person.
Okay.
So,
Well, see, you're teaching her.
She getting on the job training.
yeah.
When our kids
Already.
and family come, you'll always see our support. My mom lives in Atlanta, and she comes out every other year. Was made sure she booked her flight so she could come to an event. She's always like, okay, tell me if she doesn't get to come. She's like, if there's something to buy, I'll support from Atlanta.
You see all our family got on Black San Diego t-shirts. I mean,
Yes.
if we include them, so then it's not as hard. You know,
Yeah.
they are a part of us,
That's
so.
good. Yeah, because you guys are so busy doing things, and you have your 9 to 5 jobs per se during the week, and then you have all these events you're trying to support.
Right.
So there's not a whole lot of downtime. Maybe Sunday, you know,
Right.
if there's not an event. Not
Well,
Sunday either, huh?
A lot of times if you don't include kids, if kids are not included in the event, then I cannot. A
Yeah.
lot of times if as long as there's a kid, then I'm coming and we all come with me.
Yeah.
And
Right.
the reason why we're doing it, because they're our future. And
Right.
so if we don't show them what we're doing and our hard work, then we set the tone for it. So it's their community too, and they're a part of it.
They're gonna be around longer than us.
Yeah.
Right. And I am a firm believer that we basically create the environment for our
Right,
children, okay? So it's very, very important that we set that standard for them. So with that being said, I have the big question.
Okay.
And what our topic is. How can we empower our community to take steps in becoming unified, stronger, and better?
I think believing that we are unified, because a lot of times people say we're not unified,
We don't support each other.
but we do. So
out
I think
here.
just thinking that like we do,
Okay.
and not thinking like, oh, because I didn't see this one person here, then I'm not getting support. Take pride in those people that did come and support you, and then build from there and keep building. Everybody might not be able to go to every single event, but the
Right.
people that are there, just know that that's your base. Take them on your back and then keep building from there. We do support each other. We see it.
Right.
So
And I think our page, I mean, maybe before we created, maybe we did have that mindset like we don't support each other
Yes.
out here. And I know for me starting real estate, I'm like, I can't get none of my friends, anybody to buy a house for me, But then it's like once we started Black San Diego, it's like I see the support, I see the love, I see everybody coming together, I know I can't keep up with the messages that people are like, hey, what do you think about this idea? What do you think about this? And I'm like, maybe we should need to start a committee to have all these ideas come on. But I see all the support and everybody just coming together. Like, how can we help? What's going on with this? Where's the Black Nail Salon at? I think the guy just opened up the pizza.
Bubblies.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is that? Have you guys checked it out? I mean,
That
It's
just
hot right now. Everybody on our page keeps commenting.
the
about how
day
good it is.
before yesterday, they just posted it's bubbly. So I work right here. I will be there
where is Bubblies at?
on
We're on
University.
University.
On University.
It's on I'm not sure the address, but it's on University, and it was packed.
Everybody's been posting on there. But we also want to show people that to empower that we can change how things are. A lot of people are like, well, why are you bothered? You're not going to change it. Well, we've changed.
Yeah.
We've already said that. You can't tell us that there's nothing. To us, the sky's the limit. We've started with 5 names, and we're at 250 with a membership of 4,500.
Within a year.
And we're always trying to see, are we going to get 5,000 by next week? So, our goal, we're going to reach, and we can do it. And it's with us. It doesn't have to stay the same when you can make the change happen. And you just start with you.
Exactly. And that was one of my questions, I've actually, I'm a fan of you guys on Facebook, and I've actually from back, Black San Diego grown in the period of time, how it has changed. So how do you guys feel like, is that a impact? Have you guys feel like you made a impact, which I feel like you have? I mean, anytime that I need something, I just, I'm gonna need something, I just go on down and look and see what I need myself. Okay? I don't even have to put no recommendation up there because it's already in the timeline.
Right. People post about it all the time. We have Danielle Faye from the fitness. The fitness is my sickness, and she's saying how people have come to her gym. It's an all women's gym, and
We've
she's
had her on
hired.
our show.
She's hired people. My auntie started babysitting from somebody putting a post up.
Right.
So yeah, we're changing people. And
Yeah.
we're
You
like
are
some
stopping
link.
us. We can't go anywhere. It was up to like, aren't you from?
Yeah, alright. Yeah. Like,
Especially when we have our shirts on, because we support. We're not just putting up the post and okay, we actually are there. We're supporting you. We're giving our money, and it's like we don't make money from this. This is our time. It's our passion. Okay.
And later you will get rewarded.
Yes,
You're
but
just
it's not
doing
about
something
that right
good,
now.
yeah.
It's about building this community empowerment.
And it didn't start there. That's the
Always,
thing. It
yes.
didn't start. That wasn't.
we weren't
the
like
purpose.
money.
Right.
Right.
We just started because we wanted to help,
Help,
and then we
yes.
thought we held one event, and then we're like, well, that's it, and then I was like, you guys have to do
Do
this
it
again.
Where's
And
your
we're
shirts
like,
at?
Yeah, can we buy a shirt? We're like, what?
Well, see, that's beautiful, and God is going to bless you ladies with bigger platforms and everything that you have within your goals. He's going to bless you with it because not everything it has to be about money, and that's the same thing with me and my sister here. We bust our butt, and people don't understand. We're not here for the money. Don't think that this is about money. It's about saving lives for us. So.
I think what we need to do is just ask as a fun, because we are running out of time,
Mm-hmm.
if there's any last thoughts or comments you want to make before we wrap it up today.
I would just like to see I would like to see a place where we can come and say this is Black San Diego. This is where they come. Maybe this is where they come to the skating ring. This is where they come to the movies. But it's a central location. I would like to see it. This is where you can come, go to the grocery store and get some gas, and then go to the bank, and it's all Black owned. So I would like to see that happen.
That's an awesome vision that I'm sure is going to come to fruition.
Yes.
It will. So we should probably get to our announcements now. And as usual, we have our monthly community outreach event, Good Health Equals Long Life. It's every third Wednesday at the Big Lots, and we'll be there September 20th. Come on out for free blood pressure, blood screening, and mammograms.
Coleman San Diego Circle of Promise and A Healthier Me join forces with Black Women of Excellence San Diego on October 28th at the 4 Point Sheraton, 8110 Arrow Drive, San Diego, California 92123, offering free state-of-the-art 3D mammograms. And we're having a seminar that day at 11 o'clock. And that our time is gone. So you have been listening to Many Shades of Pink and Black Health Radio on KBLKradio.com, sponsored by Many Shades of Pink. I am your host, Wendy Sherrill, breast cancer survivor and advocate.
And I'm your co-host, Dr. Susanna Flalo.
And our guests have been Black San Diego with Cherie Hopkins, Olivia Green, and Tanisha Smith. And our topic have been, how do we empower our Black community? Thank